At the end of June, my partner Eric and I put a majority of our belongings into storage and drove from northern Colorado here to Atlanta, Georgia to live for 2 short months while deciding where we could put down roots next. Neither of us had ever been to the South. It was a completely new experience, and venturing out of your comfort zone always provides so many opportunities to learn. I feel like I've learned so much about myself over just these past few weeks. Today, I wanted to share a few of the lessons I've been reflecting on during our stay here in Atlanta over the backdrop of some of the recipes I've made this past week. I've been cooking a lot, making a lot of comfort food just to help us feel a little more grounded as we navigate all these changes. I feel like I've really reconnected with my love of cooking, and hopefully that translates through this video and maybe inspires you to get in the kitchen to make something new. Lesson number 1 is to remember to seek out and cherish the good parts of every situation, even the challenging ones, because these are the things you'll look back and feel nostalgic about one day. So a little backstory, the home we just moved out of in northern Colorado was a garden-level apartment. It got almost no natural light. The kitchen was cramped, and for about 5 months there was this large portion of our flooring and wall missing thanks to some water damage from our dishwasher when it broke. For so much of the time that we lived there, I was grappling with one of the worst depressive episodes of my life, and I was really fixated on what was wrong with where we were living. I was so eager for our lease to end so we could move somewhere nicer, brighter. And the thing is, when we're focused on what we don't like, we magnify the pain in our reality and we end up creating more of it. We start to seek out more and more flaws just to validate our worldview, and it becomes hard to see and appreciate what is actually beautiful about our situation. So now that we are in Atlanta, we have many of the things that I was yearning for in our old place, including a beautiful well-lit kitchen, and yet now, with some time and distance from our last home, I find myself missing it a little and reminiscing a lot. I think about last autumn, roasting pumpkin seeds and rewatching Gilmore Girls for the first time since high school. It's crazy because I was Rory's age when I first started watching the show, and now I am roughly Lorelai's age. So that was pretty trippy. Or I think back to February when we got obsessed with this video game. It's called Civ 6, and we completely destroyed our sleep schedule, playing it every day till 2 a.m. for a week. Or I'll think back to when Eric was binge watching season 7 of Alone while I was learning to crochet next to him on the couch. Now I feel so much nostalgia when I think about living in our last home, creating all those memories, even the ones from just a few months ago. And this is a definite pattern for me. As someone who has struggled with depression for most of my life, I have a tendency to feel overwhelmed by the dark aspects of my reality and to sink into that hopeless feeling and to feel like nothing about my situation is really salvageable and that I need to throw it all away and start fresh in order to be happy. But when I reminisce on all the places that Eric and I have lived together, it isn't the darkness that I remember, it's the light, it's the simple moments like singing along to the Rent soundtrack and rolling sushi in our tiny basement apartment in Boulder, the first place we lived together, or grilling veggie burgers in our backyard in Broomfield, or throwing a ball on a sunny day in the middle of January when we were living in San Diego with my mom and my sister. Or driving to our favorite Thai place in Fort Collins for the second time that week to get takeout because it was just so good. Even packing up our last place to put everything into storage and then driving 4 days to get from Colorado to Georgia. It seemed so stressful while we were doing it, but even that is a time that I can remember fondly now and just be proud of us for getting through it. Maybe it's human nature to always want more or to want different, and maybe that's okay. But what if we could fall in love with all the little things while we're living them, rather than waiting until they recede into the past and then realizing that we took them for granted? So moving forward, I want to use these videos as a way to document the beauty of my everyday, and I want to capture some of those happy memories while they're in the making and turn them into art that I can look back on in the future. Which brings me to the second lesson that I've been contemplating lately, and that is to do and create what feels like the most pure and honest expression of you, and to trust that this is what the world needs from you. Over the years, I have tried out many different formats and styles of content here on YouTube, but I always struggled to stay consistent because I was never truly proud of anything I made. I had trouble connecting to my why, so I kept looking for it outside of myself. I compared myself a lot to other creators and I tried to emulate what they were doing to be successful. I did countless hours of research about the business of food blogging, how to satisfy the algorithms, how to stay on top of trends, all of the logical steps I needed to take to run a successful food blog. And while it is a good thing to seek advice from people you trust, at the end of the day, you need to follow your own intuition. Because when you're trying to be somebody else, you're always going to fall short. Instead, look for the things that you're naturally gifted at and pour all of your love and energy into them, even if it may not seem like the logical thing to do. What I'm finally accepting is that for me, cooking is first and foremost an art form and a way to connect with the people I love. The food we make holds memories and intentions, and our relationship with the food we eat affects how it's received and integrated by our bodies. I want that relationship to be full of ease, gratitude, color, playfulness, and I want to transmit that through my videos. So that said, this channel will be changing a bit moving forward. The channel will still focus primarily on food, but my primary intention is no longer going to be to educate about cooking technique, so videos won't just be narrated recipe tutorials, more like video diaries of the dishes I'm currently enjoying, along with other things I've been making or learning about or contemplating, kind of like this video. I'll also be releasing the need to select recipes based on specific dietary or fitness goals, and I will just be sharing whatever recipes I feel genuinely inspired to make and eat. So those are the two primary lessons that I've been thinking about a lot since we've been here, completely out of our comfort zone. It's really interesting the perspective that you gain when you are in a completely new place when most of your belongings are not with you. And I've definitely reevaluated my priorities a lot. And I definitely think I was taking for granted how important it is to have just the stability of having one place that you call home. Time has gone by so quickly, I feel like it's already time for us to pack up and figure out where we're going next. I have a pretty clear idea of our next location. If you guys want to take a guess, leave it in a comment down below. Feel free to do that. We have had a great time here in Atlanta, but we don't think it's where we're going to be settling long term. So onward to the next adventure, I suppose. And the whole point of this experience was just to get a better idea of what was out there. I lived almost my entire life in California until I moved to Colorado in 2018. Eric grew up in New York and then lived in Colorado, so between the two of us, we haven't seen that much of the country. So we're just figuring it out as we go, like everyone else. We'll probably film one more video in this location, and then our next one will be from a new place. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have the best week ever. I love you guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye.